Hello, this is Ron, and this is my response to the Week 2 Tenets of Interaction concerning student to student, student instructor, and student to content interaction. And I decided to use a different platform because I know I'm supposed to be working on brevity, but I'm just not quite there yet. So I decided to use this platform. I'm very intrigued by this overall uh, model and process shown here. I think that all the ones that they were shown are very important, but I want to go into each of them a little bit differently and look at them a little bit differently in my response. Looking at the Minot State University's example from the Office of Instructional Technology, um, looking at the teacher to student instructor interaction, I think all these, as you can see here, are very important for the instructor to set up the course. But there's a couple of things that I'm not sure that the instructor needs to be the main focus of it. For example, blogs. I know Keeley mentioned that if every student had their own blog, it'd be very difficult for the instructor to keep track of it because they'd have to go through all the different sites for all the different blogs. Um, I think journals are a very important part. That goes with my learning theory about reflection, and all the other parts are very important. I just think that some of them aren't quite as important or necessary for the instructor to be doing. Going on to the student-to-student interaction, all these I think are very valid, very useful, and very important. I think wikis are very good for older students. I'm not sure that they're the best for younger students, especially the middle school age. We've had some experience with using Wiki. The problem I found on that is that students message each other. They have that opportunity, and that can be not the best situation at times, is the best way I can put it. I think it's very good that we have discussion boards for the students to work out and work together. And here's a place where they could use blogs and have the students respond to each other, more or less making the teacher the facilitator instead of the initiator of the discussions, of all the discussions. Under student to content interaction, the first one I really would not enjoy because that's all teacher driven. When you have to have lectures, I think the students need to be self-directed to learn on their own, to discover what they need. You can put information out for them to look at, but I think it needs to be put in other methods. Lectures just aren't a viable overall 21st century tool and a way to present material. Guest speakers, I think, really resonates because that shows the students that you're willing to bring in people that are experts in the field or in the area that you're looking at. I've been working on trying to Skype with other teachers, and also I've been really trying to work out a situation where I could actually Skype with a composer to let the students see more about the life of a composer modern day. Videos are good to show that. I think it's important for the journals, for students to do journals, and here's where I think blogging could really come into play with the students. Papers, I think, yes, they're important in a way because I think they show what's in the mind of the student. I'm just not so sure that they need to be done in a assessment, as part of an assessment tool. Quizzes, I think quizzes are valid for some subjects. I think project-based learning, or PBL, is a better way to assess student learning than quizzes and tests. My rationale behind that is, and Pete, I'm sorry if I'm stepping on your toes, but we have situations where a math teacher gives a quiz, student fails it, oh well, they failed. And they move on to the next area. What is done to help that student learn or master what they did not pass in that quiz? And can we really say that that student didn't learn based on that one snapshot? That's I know that's a touchy area, but I'm really feel um, what's the word I want to use? Really feel that we need to come up with other ways to measure the student learning, even though we have the state assessments that tell us that that's how we do it. I know that Pete mentioned uh, about virtual field trips. I would love to do virtual field trips. I'm actually thinking of doing a field trip to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, Ohio. That's one of my projects on my list that I'm working on. Also, Pete also mentioned that books weren't listed there. I know that in core subjects, textbooks are a vital part of the instruction and the platform. However, not all courses need that. And for example, in my music course, the textbook is there as a resource for them. We do not do the textbook. Uh, it's just the way I run my class. I don't believe it. I believe it as a resource tool, not as the purpose of the student being in the class. Those are my thoughts. Thank you for listening.